question, would you rather be flexible or consistent? Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Wherever you happen to be watching or listening, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. This is the second in a series about my new book, Flexible Leadership, and it gets at the core idea of the book about flexibility. So the question is this: as a leader, would you rather be flexible or consistent? So let's explore that just a little bit. There are advantages to being consistent, right? Like if we're consistent, consistency builds trust. People know what to expect from us, and trust levels can be built because of that consistency. Consistency builds credibility. If we're always moving around and flipping and flopping, people might wonder about how credible we are, how much we really know about what's going on. Consistency supports equity and fairness, right? People would like to know that there's some consistency in how everyone on the team is being treated for similar sorts of situations. And lastly, consistency supports stability, right? A sense of stability, of knowing where we are. Like that just feels good in a world that's always moving. Consistency seems wonderful. But there are also some advantages to being flexible, including flexibility supports change. In a world that's changing, we have to be ready to be flexible and adapt to the new and changing environment, including the changes that we need to make. Flexibility aids resilience. Things will happen. Things will have to be adjusted. We'll have to adjust and change and flip and flop, and we've got to be ready to do that. Flexibility aids resilience, our ability to adapt and change. And lastly, flexibility addresses chaos and uncertainty. Well, there's plenty of that in our world, right? So while we'd love to have stability, we're living in a world of uncertainty, and we have to be able to adjust and adapt to that. Flexibility helps us. So there are advantages to both. So which would you rather be? I would say to you, why can't we be both? Because we can be both. Now, flexibility and consistency might be in tension at times, but they're not opposites. So let's explore that for just a second. If they were opposites, let's consider the antonyms of flexible. Here are a couple: established and stable. Those are antonyms of flexible. Those sound pretty good. Like those kind of go along with our idea of consistency, right? But there are others. Other antonyms for flexible include fixed, rigid, harsh, and hard. I'm not sure those are the things we want. Do you want your boss to be fixed, rigid, strict, hard, and harsh? I don't think so. And neither does your team. And so that difference matters, right? So we can be both. Specifically, we can be flexible on approach and consistent in goals and principles. That's what we want to focus on. Being flexible on approach and consistent in goals and principles. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. The most effective leaders are flexible in approach and consistent on principles. Flexible leadership is, of course, the big idea of my new book, Flexible Leadership. If you found this interesting, intriguing, or leaving you wanting to know more, you need to continue to watch this series and go order your copy of the book at kevineikenberry.com/flexible. I hope you'll do that. And I hope you'll be back next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.